This presentation is on universal design for learning as applied to the Maryland State Department of Education Curriculum Management System. My name is Luke Simon. I'm from Lansdowne High School in Baltimore County, Maryland. The Universal Design for Learning, or UDL, has three principles. Principle 1. Provide multiple means of representation. To me, that says, what vehicles are you using? You could use text, video, tables, storyboard, virtual manipulatives, or even dance. In fact, this video presentation I'm giving you now is a vehicle for providing representation. But specifically, I'd like to look at virtual manipulatives and real physical manipulatives for a specific lesson seed. And I picked lesson seed Flip and Slide. It's about transformation. This activity focuses on a game, is to collect as many of these ladybugs as possible. And this is my triangle, it's this green triangle. And I'm going to try to transform it to a new image where it is occupying a space that has the most ladybugs in it so that I can collect those ladybugs. Okay? So for example, I may want to translate my triangle over, let's say, over here where there are a lot of ladybugs. And I drag it up here. I want to go to the right, that's correct. And I want to go 2 units, submit. Okay, I can add additional transformations to make a composite transformation, but that's fine, just that one transformation. It's going to slide to the right. It collects the ladybugs. And now my opponent, this blue triangle down here, is also going to collect ladybugs. And he did a composite of a reflection and a translation. I'm going to show you one more thing about this that's really neat is if you are able to collect a lightning bug, then your triangle will dilate and increase in size, and you can collect even more ladybugs and possibly even more fireflies. Translate to the left, 2 units, go, and now here comes the firefly is collected, and now I will increase in size, and I actually have another firefly collected, so I will continue to increase and dilate, and that can just increase the number of ladybugs that you can collect, and then it resets, and you get points by this, and the goal is to beat your opponent and do a better job. But it's just such a great visual representation of the transformations and the composites of those. So it's really fun. You can kind of just play around with it. It's very low pressure, and this is definitely just a great representation of transformations. Okay, here's a handout that the students would get, and the directions are on the other piece of paper, so I'll just explain it to you. In each example, you are given a pre-image and an image, and you must use, the student must use 2 different types of transformations to map the pre-image to the image. The students can use tracing paper to trace the pre-image and then manipulate that piece of tracing paper in order to see how they can get it onto the image. But again, remember, the challenge is that they have to use 2 different types of transformations. Okay, and that just shows you that you can use different vehicles. Don't limit yourself to any types of methods to represent the math. Principle 2 is provide multiple means of expression. To me, that says make it user-friendly. Now the problem is, does that mean easy work? No. It means you can use scaffolds, prompts. These are little tools to help your students along the way. Eventually, the idea would be to have some of these tools be phased out. Let's go back to the example and see how this applies. I have the directions. I have a place for students to take notes on each of the different transformations. And then, if they are to select one of those transformations, they can then see down here what items would need to be included in order to describe that transformation. So if they have a translate or translation, they would need to be able to tell us which direction. And in the case of this particular challenge, they're only allowed to use left, right, up, or down, no diagonals. And how far, the number of units. They can go through and check off those items to make sure that they both are on there. And you can see we can apply the same thing for reflections and for rotations. So this is a way to allow the students to do, as you see, what is a very involved process. There are quite a few things going on here, and if this is the first day that you're reviewing these transformations in geometry, or the second day, and they haven't seen it since middle school, then this is something that is going to be useful for them. And now finally, principle 3, provide multiple means of engagement. How are you engaging the students? To me, this is the human element. And we must be observant of what's going on with our students, and we need to respond appropriately. So are our students participating and collaborating? What are we doing to help this? What resources are we seeking out? Perhaps you could have a class wiki, maybe having 2 students on a computer that are on a team and working against the computer, and that way they're helping each other out, and gives you an opportunity as a teacher to foster a collaborative environment and to critique the students on how they are working together. So that's it. Those are the 3 principles of the universal design for learning. And to recap, we're talking about what vehicles are you using. Don't limit your class to what they can use to learn. And then the second principle, we need to help our students along the way, and we need to ask ourselves what's appropriate at each level. And then finally, principle 3, provide multiple means of engagement. How are you keeping your students engaged? There are plenty of resources on the Universal Design for Learning Guidelines wheel, so I really hope you have that and are taking a look at it and take your time with it. Thank you.